Welcome back to the shop, guys. In this video I will be bolting on a set of the new MX34 tires on my YZ125 here. It currently has MX33, but then I'm going to take it to the track. Going to try to fit two tracks in this weekend, Moto Bros and Dade City, and let's just see how these compare. I also have a scale here. I'm going to weigh them. As if you watch a lot of my videos, you know I'm a real stickler when it comes to wheel weight. I like to keep my wheels as light as possible, so I'm going to weigh them. I have some brand new Kenda Ender tubes here. Now, one good thing that works in my favor for this review is I will also have my wife's bike out at the track with me. That's pretty much the same setup as my bike, except that one still does have the MX33s on it. Yes, they're not brand new, but they are still in really good shape. They're just dirty right now, but you can see they're in really good shape. And it'll give me an idea, front and rear. Again, the tires look a little dirty, but they're in great shape. So it'll give me an idea of how these two tires kind of compare. I'm going to start with the rear, start with the harder one. Let me go ahead and get that wheel off the bike, get it mounted up. So let me go ahead and do that, and we got to get these tires on so we can get to the track and see how she does. Okay, got the rear 33 off, have the 34 right there. First observation I can tell you is the knobs are definitely taller on this one. Now, yes, this tire is used, right? But typically they just wear this spot out right here. I have it set, and it's about just a little more than a half an inch, 0.52 of an inch. Now my wife has the same tire, the 33. She has less hours on her tire and she doesn't ride it as hard as mine, so let's see. Yep, the same thing, 0.52 of an inch. Alright, let's go see what the 34 measures. Okay, I got the 34 all set up. It measures actually, let me get it in here so I can show you. There we go. It measures 0.67 of an inch. So definitely taller knobs, at least on the rear tire. But how about weight? Let's go ahead and weigh them. Now keep in mind, this is a used tire, so it does have some wear on it. Hold it as still as I can. We're getting, there we go, 11.36. 11 pounds, 11.36. Alright. Now let's compare it to the new tire. It actually feels lighter in my hand, but it's not looking like it so far. Actually, it's looking very similar. Oh, it is actually a little bit lighter at 11.20. And it's new. So, that's good. Alright, we're on to a good start here. The new tire is lighter. I mean, yeah, it's not by much, but at least it's not heavier. I just didn't want it to go any heavier, that's for sure. And that's been a trend with the Geomax tires since they first have come out. Every new model seems to be a little bit lighter than the previous. And that's good. I do remember when the Geomax first came out, that was one of the things I was impressed with, is it was surely lighter than the 756 that I was running before that. Okay, let me go ahead and mount this tire on the rim, get it on the bike, and we'll get to the front wheel. Okay, the rear tire is mounted up. She definitely looks different. You know, I wasn't too thrilled with how it looked when it was off the bike. But now it's on the bike, I actually like how it looks. I can clearly see that the knobs are definitely taller than the 33. You can see that with your naked eye, so that's pretty cool. One kind of observation is this new MX34 looks a little bit narrower than the previous MX33. So let's see here. Alright, I have that already set to this tire. Alright, let's go to the MX33 on my wife's bike here. Alright, let's go to my wife's bike here, and I'm going to hook it up right here. Oh yeah, it's definitely, the MX33 is just a hair bit wider. But again, this tire is broken in. This one's still brand new. Sometimes after they've been ridden a little bit, you know, the rubber kind of seats in, and maybe it'll become wider with age. Alright, let's go ahead and get that front one on. Actually, let me get the front tire off. We got to weigh them first and compare knob height and all that. And let's do that. This is the MX33, by the way. Wait till it settles in. There it is, 8.43 of a pound, MX33. Again, it's a used tire. So, you know, we're actually giving it a little bit of an advantage there. Let's go ahead and clear this out. Let's see here, tear. Alright. Hook it up the same way. Oop, all right, there we go. .47. So it appears the new front tire is actually just a hair heavier. Not much at all, but just a hair. And if you remember, the new rear tire was a hair lighter, but very close. So I'm going to call this a tie when it comes to the weight of these new MX34s compared to the MX33s. Let me go ahead and finish mounting these on the new rim, and let's see what it looks like. Okay, got the new 34 on the wheel there. I have the older 33 on that wheel, but I almost forgot to measure the knobby height on the new 34. So let's do that real quick. I already checked this one, but let me double check, make sure I have it. Okay, so the 34 measures just over and a half an inch. Now let's try the 33 here. All right, well, it's definitely got lower knobs, but how much lower? Just under a half an inch, 0.47. So again, the 34 has slightly taller knobs, but what about width? Break out this tool again. Okay, I set this tool up to meet the width of the 34. Now I'll go to the 33. Oh yeah, look at this. See, I have it matched up on this side. Look over here. Again, the 34 is a more narrow tire than the 33. Again, it's also a brand new tire on the wheel. Sometimes after they've been ridden a little bit, the carcass breaks in and it can widen up a little bit. So that might be all we're dealing with there. All right, the tires are on. It's starting to rain. Dang. Overall, they look pretty good on the bike. One observation is you see this red right here and the blue right there. What that indicates, that's done in the factory so they know the rubber compound, the type of compound that's used for this tire. So with the 34 has that kind of orangish red, I don't know what the heck you call that, and the blue. But the old 33 has the same orangish red right here. Over here though, it's more of a gray or a white. So that's a different compound than that. And the same with the rear here. It has a green and I don't know what color you'd call that. Kind of an orange, kind of a red. But it's just, over here we have a bluish, it's not a green, it's a blue. And that same kind of orangish red. So again, even the rear tire, they have a different compound. I will say they do look better once they're on the bike. I wasn't a big fan of how they looked when they first arrived in the mail. The rear tire looks great from the side with the extra tall knobbies there. You can really see that once it's on the bike. Although from behind, like I mentioned earlier, it does look a little more narrow. And that does, 125 already has a pretty narrow rear tire. So, but let's see. After the carcass breaks in, it might widen up. Matter of fact, I will actually take a measurement of how wide the rear tire is, and after the weekend of reviewing, I'll go ahead and see if it actually did widen up some. And the front tire looks good too. The knobbies look nice and tall, and yeah, all right, let's take it to the track. Good morning, Moto Bros, Punta Gorda, Florida. Track's looking perfect. I'll run the GoPro and see if I can get some good footage in. Punta Gorda. Alright, it's my first time ever riding Moto Bros Punta Gorda, so I'm just doing a sight lap here. That's a pretty big triple step down thing. Nice little bank corner. Got a double here. And a tabletop there. Okay. Time to start working on these jumps. Ouch. Face that one. Gonna have to try harder. Let's try again. Ugh. Still a little bit too short, but that's okay. I'll get it. See if I can get this double here. Got that one. top. Got it. Alright, let's go. Track's definitely a little on the soft side. Got a lot of rain during the week. Lines are starting to build up. The tires feel good. Kept the bike nice in line. Back tire definitely feels good. Has good traction and dig to it. Dang, came short on that again. Can't do that anymore, that hurts. There's Offney, longtime friend slash rival. We're gonna have ourselves a little battle here in a minute. I see Offney up there. There he is. There he is right there. This section of the track got really deep and nasty. We were almost in survival mode going through here. Got right beside him. Okay, if I can hit this corner a little quicker than him, maybe I can get him here. And then he takes my line right here. That's that. Okay, let's try again. This is the next lap, same place. There he is. We both chose the same exact lines. That's last time. Sweet, he got me last time, so he owes me for this one. That was fun. We always have a good time. There he is, get a little fist bump. Alright, Natasha, get on the back of the bike. We need to go to Dade City and review these MX34 tires out now. Good morning. It's New Year's Eve. We're at Dade City MX, the extended track. It looks perfectly groomed. MX34 tires seem to be doing good at Moto Bros. Let's see how they do out here. Put that right there. Alright, bike's still dirty. Didn't even wash it from Moto Bros yesterday. Yeah, I know, we've all done it, right? But I'll get it cleaned up when I get home. But anyway, that rear tire so far is doing great. It has a lot of aspects that remind me of like a scoop tire almost. It really hooks up pretty good, but we'll talk about that more at the end of the video. Front tire, I'm not noticing so much. Feels pretty similar to the MX33. It's not a bad thing. The MX33 was a really good tire. But so far, I'm definitely saying the MX34 rear is definitely an improvement over the 33. So let's get geared up and take it out here, do some laps on it. And I still need to take my wife's bike out to try out the MX33s on hers to definitely get a good back-to-back comparison. Sorry for the GoPro. It's a new GoPro 8. For me, it's new. And I just didn't have it on the helmet right, but we're going to take care of that today. Here we go. Yeah. She's taking the YZ125 with the MX34 out. Well, it's a good day out riding. I just test rode my wife's bike with the MX33s on there, the previous model, and then I got back on the mine with the MX34. At first I didn't really notice a big difference when I got on her bike right away, except for maybe at some of the real low speed corners when I would kind of pop the clutch to really get going again. This one definitely paddles more like a paddle tire, kind of, the wheel doesn't have to spin up as much to get the front end light and start pulling the bike forward. But that was really the only difference I noticed at first. Front tires still feel very similar. But then I started catching on that under the power, like when you're going towards jumps, this tire right here is more likely, the 34 is more likely to stay right behind you, and the 33, if it's going to drift out left or right, it's going to do that a little bit easier than the 34 is. So as of right now, the 34 is definitely a winner on the rear, although it does feel very similar up front to the 33. So that's where we're at right here. All right, back in the shop, and just as I said, the tire actually got wider during break-in. Look at that. On this side, I have it matched up on that side. Yep. There it is. And that's funny how that is. Once the carcass gets broken in, they kind of widen up. Yeah, I just checked. It's definitely, the MX34 is just a crack wider than the MX33 now that the tire is broken in. So with Moto Bros and Punta Gorda and Dade City, both the tracks are similar in dirt. The weekend was definitely very soft. We had a lot of rain during the week, so both tracks were definitely on the softer side. A lot of moisture in the ground, but the tires did good. I don't really notice a difference with the front tire, the 34 versus the 33. They felt about the same to me, and the conditions that we were in. But that being said, if these were heavier bikes like a 450, maybe I might have noticed a difference. But at least this one doesn't feel worse than the older 33. It's equal in my opinion, at least on these 125s. As for the rear, the MX34 is definitely an improvement over the MX33. Not by much, but it's there, and that does matter. The biggest difference for me was just straight line acceleration. You know, this one has taller knobs. They're a little bit more narrow, and they're taller. And it feels more like a paddle tire. It gives that same type of paddle tire feel, where the tire, when you're in thicker stuff, it doesn't have to spin as much before it kind of picks up the front end and pulls forward. Even low wheel spins, it's already digging and launching the bike forward. So that's a win. And then when I rode her bike, you know, back and forth between this one and that one, another thing I noticed was the MX33, when you're heavy on the throttle going for a face of a jump or something, it's a little bit easier for the back end to slide out left or right on you. Just a little drift out left or right, where the 34 really just stays true and straight when you're heavy on the gas. So that's a win. Rear tire's a win. As of right now, I'm going to call the front tire a tie between the 33 and 34, but the rear tire is definitely a win. Now, if you currently have some MX33s on your bike like she does here, there's no reason to rush out and buy the MX34s. If your 33s are in good shape, just go ahead and continue using them until you get the full life out of them, and then move to the MX34s. And just know that when you move to the MX34s, I think you're going to like what you feel. But stay tuned to the channel, because in about 2 months I will do a follow-up, let you know how these wear in and how they felt on, you know, just once you own them for a while and get used to them. I'm also going to be mounting a set on my YZ250 2-stroke to get a feel of how they feel on a heavier bike with a little more power. So stay tuned for that. It'll be in about 2 months. I'll make another video with just a follow-up. Unfortunately, these bikes are not going to get washed till tomorrow because it is New Year's Eve, so you know what that means. So, yeah, I hope all you guys have a really good New Year's. Don't go anywhere yet. I have some nice credits coming up in a few minutes. Stick around for that. So these bikes will be getting a bath tomorrow, unfortunately. I don't like to do that and put it off, but, you know, sometimes with life you have to. And we rode them twice this weekend, so that's 2 rides. These things are double dirty. Next weekend, we're going to be riding at Moto Bros in Punta Gorda on Sunday, as long as the weather holds out. So I hope to see you guys out there, and if you don't ride there, hope you have a good weekend of riding somewhere, wherever you're at. I appreciate all you guys. Stick around for the credits, and catch you next year. See ya.
Okay.